What's up everyone? I'm Twisted. For a long time now we've been predicting that Season 3 of 2026 was going to be themed after the various fictional bands of League of Legends. And with Season 3 now being live on PvE, I think it's a good time to go over everything we knew when I made my last video on the topic, as well as every new detail that has come out since then that points in the direction of a comeback for the music skins. First, let's talk about stuff happening outside of Riot's games. Quite some time ago we saw some of the real-life singers behind Heartsteel in Riot's office in LA, which obviously hints at a new song for the band. More recently, we saw KDA DLC for the game Rift of the Necrodancer. It's very rare for Riot to do collabs like this outside of big events. The last time was with Season 1 of Arcane, so it wouldn't surprise me if other songs or music skins showed up in other games. I'm sure people would love KDA in Fortnite. Anyways, let's actually talk about League and all of Riot's other games. Last year, Meddler said that they were considering a season not based on lore, and this year we learned that Season 3 of 2026 would not be tied to Seasons 1 and 2, so it was easy to assume that Season 3 would be based on an alternate universe. With the devlog and PvE patch for Season 3 now out, we learned that this isn't exactly the case, as Act 1 of Season 3 is going to focus on celebrating League's past and history with the release of League Classic. However, Pablo did confirm that Act 2 will focus on worlds and on music. This could simply be referring to the world's anthem of this year, but it could also mean we're getting a new song, maybe for an existing band or maybe for the new one. And this makes sense. Whenever they make a song for one of their fictional bands, that song usually comes out before Worlds and it's later played during its opening ceremony. And that could be just it, a new song. But it's also possible we're getting a much bigger event based on these fictional bands, as we know that some of Riot's other games will also get content based on these bands, which means that maybe all of these games are going to be collaborating in some way. But before we dive into that, it's also worth noting that a lot of Musicverse champions haven't received the skin this year. Shout out to Shaggy on Twitter for this list, where we can see that so far in 2026, the full rosters of KDA and Heartsteel have not received the skin. And if we exclude prestige skins, then none of the Pentakill members have gotten one as well. The only band left is True Damage, and here only Senna and Yasuo got one. Though it's worth noting that Yasuo's was a New Year skin and thus is not currently available. So it's very possible that these champions will receive new music skins later this year. And this is not even counting the many popular champions like Lux, who haven't received the skin this year, who could finally join a fictional band. But now let's move on to Riot's other games, so I can show you why I think this music event will actually be a big deal and not just a new song and some skins. Riftbound's next set is Radiance, which is coming out in October, right around the time of this year's Worlds. In the past we've speculated on how the game could be getting overnumbered cards with music skins in this set, and since then we actually got confirmation that this is indeed happening. In their post about their North American Championship, they revealed an overnumbered card for K'Sante based on his Heartsteel skin. Just like Spirit Forge had Spirit Blossom skins and Vendetta had Crystal Rose skins, I think Radiance is going to have a lot of music skins for their overnumbered cards. On top of this, a lot of the confirmed champions for Radiance already have music skins in League. Confirmed legends for this set are Evelynn, who's part of KDA, Seraphine, who has a KDA skin, and Ekko, who's part of True Damage. Also confirmed for this set is Ziggs, who has a Hyperpop skin, you might remember it from TFT's Remix Rumble or maybe from LOR. And then there's also Jarvan, who doesn't really have a music skin, at least not yet. He could be getting one this year. So, based on the set's release date, this overnumbered for K'Sante, and the champions confirmed for Radiance, I think Riftbound will also be part of this music event. If so, it wouldn't surprise me if we saw more legends of this set being champions with music skins, such as Aphelios, Sona, Karthus or Senna. A game that's been partnering a lot with Riftbound is TFT, as its next big event, the Convergence Fest, is going to take place alongside Riftbound's North American Championship. This takes place in December. Since TFT Set 18 is right around the corner now, by the time the fest takes place, they will be on Set 19. From their last roadmap, we know that this set is going to be themed after music. For now, this is all we know, but it's another clue that more music content is on the way. And if there's any new band or skins added to League in Season 3, we can expect them to show up in Set 19 of TFT. Legends of Runeterra hasn't had a big event in a while, so with all of these championships and events from other games happening, it's possible that the LOR team will collaborate with the other teams on something. When the team revealed the Spirit Blossom champions, they joked about the possibility of new champions based on the alternate universe of KDA, so it wouldn't surprise me if this finally became real sometime later this year, which would make sense since their big Spirit Blossom event also took place in the last quarter of last year. LOR has also collaborated with TFT in the past, so another collaboration is very possible. The Spirit Blossom champions were a bit easier to make since the team already had artworks for them, but when it comes to music skins, they only have the ones they made alongside TFT for Remix Rumble. And to be honest, I don't think this would be as exciting as KDA, Pentakill or True Damage. With this being said, we have gotten confirmation that some of Riftbound's new artworks could at some point find their way into Legends of Runeterra. So, for example, we could see True Damage Ekko getting a new artwork in Riftbound, and then said artwork being used in LOR for a new champion. I don't know how likely that is to happen, but it's not impossible. But we could also get the Remix Rumble situation, where new artworks are made for both LOR and TFT. Like Legends of Runeterra, we also don't have much to talk about when it comes to 2xKO, besides speculation. We know its next two champions this year will be Lux and Samira, but we don't know the exact dates either will be released. Neither of them have music skins in League, but well, that could be changing this year. However, I think lining up a champion reveal with these crossover events is much harder than say if they already had a champion in the game and were only making cosmetics for them. It's not impossible for either Lux or Samira or both to get a music skin in League that also shows up in 2xKO, but I would keep my expectations in check for that. What is more likely, in my opinion, are music skins for champions already in the game. With Senna's release, the game almost has the full roster of True Damage. And of course we have Ahri, Akli and Hilawi. We could also be seeing a new map based on the Musicverse, as well as a lobby and event like we saw for Pool Party for example. Personally, I think a map based on a concert would be really cool, and we could even have variations of this map where different bands are playing. For Wild Rift, we also know who the last champions of this year will be, as they teased Sylas and Hui back in March, leaked Rek'Sai in May, and then teased Rek'Sai and Hui again this month. Since these champions do not have a music skin, they could be getting one later this year. Yes, even you Rek'Sai, but it's impossible to know for sure. There are still some music skins not in Wild Rift yet, like the first wave of KDA, most of Pentakill, DJ Sona, etc, so we could be seeing those in the game soon. So with all this being said, I do think we'll see some kind of music event this year. I don't think it will be as big as we thought. We were speculating it would be most if not all of Season 3, but now we know that League Classic will be the main attraction, followed by Worlds and obviously the news about League next, with this music event fitting somewhere in between. Can't say I'm that excited for it, I'm actually more interested in the news about League next, and if lore will be mentioned at all. But what about you? Are you excited for the new music skins and new songs? Let me know what you think down below. And consider subscribing if you haven't already. It's free and you can always change your mind later. I'm Twisted and I'll see you guys in the next video.